Hey everybody, welcome to the Coding Zoo. If this is your first time joining, my name is Shane. This is the HTML building blocks series. So in today's lesson, we're going to cover another form element called textarea. So another basic form input type that if you're not familiar with, you definitely need to learn. In the last lesson, we covered input text, input search. Those elements allow you to enter text. They're made to enter small amounts of text, like your first name, last name, an address line, something like that. But what if you want to enter large amount of text? If you're interested in that, stick around. We're going to jump right in. We're going to learn how to do that. All right, so hey, let's go ahead and get started. On my desktop, I have some code prepared for us to save some time. I have a form element here. We went over that in previous lessons. I have field set and some divs, and we're going to add an input type of text area. Text area is the input type that allows me to enter a great deal of text, lots of text. Think of like writing paragraphs, that kind of size amount of text. Now I've also got a submit button here so we can submit the form. Again, we've covered that in previous lessons. Definitely check out those videos. I'll link them to the end of this video. If it's your first time joining, you can download our code at thecodingzoo.com. We usually have the code out there within a week or two of creating a video, publishing a video. So let's create a text area. Previous input types started with the input keyword. This one does not. This one starts with text area. So I have a text area, and as usual with your form elements, you want to give them an ID. I'm going to call it text area. Usually you want to give it an ID that has meaning to your business space. Text area is not a good name. For the sake of time, we're just going to leave it as text area. I can't type today as usual. Now, let's say I wanted to put a default value. Usually you would use an attribute called value. Value equals. You put an attribute, like for input type text field, you would put value equals and put the value, default value you want to put. The text area is a little different. You don't put an attribute called value. You just put the value in the middle between of the two tags. So default text here. Press Control S to save, and let's see what that looks like. Refresh. So there we go. So I have a text area label. Here is my text area box, and there's that default text. Now I put some JavaScript in this page so that when I submit this page, submit this form back to this page and read that information, it will display it right up here in this section right here. So now if you haven't watched our video on form element, go back and check it out. We go into more detail about that. I wanted to simulate basically posting text to a server so you'd be familiar with how that process works. Let's try it out. I'm going to click submit. And there it is. My default text is here. Now, notice how I can type in anything I want. Let's type in Shane loves JavaScript and HTML. Notice how it keeps growing. CSS plus other languages. And you can't really see it that well. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Pretty neat feature of the box. And now I'm going to submit it. And there you go. It submitted all that text back to this page, and I was able to display it. So this is a large text area. Now you can specify how many rows. This would be one row, and how many columns. So if you wanted more than just this length of columns, think of a column as like one character. I would say this is probably about 20 or 30. If you want it to be larger, of course the user can move it out and stuff and move it down. But that's not too user-friendly. So how do we do that differently? Let's go ahead and define another text area and show how to do that. Okay, text area. I'm going to put ID equals larger area. Name equals larger area. Put some lorem ipsum. Whew. That put it way out there. Let's shorten that up a little bit so we can actually see what's going on here. Okay. So I have text area ID equals larger, name equals larger. Let's make it larger. I'm going to say rows equal to, let's do 30 rows. And I'm going to do columns equal to 100. Save it, click refresh, and there's my large text area. So now I can get in here and type the whole book, type paragraphs, right? And I have all this space. This gives the user kind of an idea of how much input they're allowed to do. Now, what if you wanted to restrict how much they could type in? Well, if you fill this box up, it's not going to restrict it. They can keep typing, just like up here. If you fill this one up, it'll scroll up and down and you can keep typing, right? The same will happen with this box. So if you wanted to actually set a maximum amount of characters, a maximum length, you have to explicitly do so. The columns and rows just show how big the area should display. It doesn't actually limit what text the user can put in. So if I wanted to set the maximum length of what the user could enter, couldn't rely on the rows and columns because it would just scroll up and down. So I'm going to set a max length equal to 400. That would limit the box to about 400 characters. So that's it for our lesson today. We have the input element text area. It is used to enter a large amount of text by the user. Hopefully you understand the difference in text area and the input type equals text, the input element. The text area box is used to enter large amounts of text like a paragraph, whereas the input element with type equals text is used for smaller things like a name, address, just a single line input. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, hey, leave them below. I'll definitely get back to you. I will respond. If you like this video, please click the like button. If it's your first time joining us and you'd like to join us in the future, click subscribe and click the alert icon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Our goal at Coding Zoo is to help you learn how to program. I hope to see you again in the future. Have a great week.